This is Sam Schachter for the Purchase Brick and the Love Shack. Here's a special guest tonight, Patton Oswalt, live at Carolines. How are you, Patton?
I'm very good.
Have you ever heard of Purchase College before?
It's called Purchase?
Purchase, yeah, in Purchase, New York.
There's a town called Purchase?
Yes, it's pretty small.
So it's Purchase College in the town of Purchase?
In the town of Purchase, yes.
That sounds so mythical.
It is.
It sounds like a Grimm's fairy tale.
Yeah.
But it's real.
Yeah. It's a SUNY school.
Okay.
Have you played at any of those schools? Not at all. Yeah,
Sorry.
We don't have a lot of money, but it's alright.
That explains why I've never been there.
You went to William and Mary, right?
Yes.
Do you have any like cool, fun drug night stories that you might do?
You know, all my drug and alcohol stories in college, they just involve me passing out very, very quickly. So it's not that I ever did anything crazy or violent when I was drunk. I was like, oh, and then I woke up and everyone had already left. So it's just like I got very, very drunk and drugged out, then I didn't do the cool drunk and drugged out stuff. I would either fall asleep or I'd start giggling.
And compared to being married now and almost having a daughter, congratulations, by the way. Like, where does that differ? You know, like, I don't know, again, like how big you were, you know, going to party with, like, well, you married a woman or anything, but how does that compare?
Well, I mean, but the thing is, there's more security now, but there's also way more fun than when I was dating. It just seemed like a series of weird psychodrama nightmares over and over again. It's like nightmares with boners in the middle for some reason. So after a while, it just kind of was like, I think I'm over-romanticizing the single life. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna try, yeah.
I'd rather have fun and relaxation than panic and drama.
A lot of people know you now that your name is in the mainstream from, you know, doing Ratatouille and other voices and stuff. Do you ever get pissed off and say, like, you know, I want to be an actor sometimes. I want to go out and, you know, see what I'm about, not just
No, I don't get pissed off. I just do whatever interests me. So sometimes I do voiceover, sometimes I do stand-up, sometimes I do serious acting or comedic acting, or I write something. Anyone that gets pissed off with how their career is or what they're not being able to do is because they're not going and doing it. If you want to go do something dramatic, go do something dramatic. Go do a play.
Yeah.
Go do, you know, when people say they want to do dramatic acting, it's like, no, you just want to be in a big budget movie, make a lot of money doing dramatic acting. You can go do dramatic acting. No one's stopping you. Or no one's stopping you from doing comedy. No one's stopping you from anything. Just go do what you like. Do what you like first. Because if you're not having fun, then it's going to be miserable. You'll be 80 in bed going, oh, I was pissed off the whole time.
Obviously, music is a big part of your, you know, show and probably your life. What kind of bands helped you get into this, like, alternative world?
You know, especially bands that I thought were really they had gotten away from the whole shoegazing, I don't want to be a rock star thing, which I think was a lot of grunge bands in the early 90s. Groups like, if you've ever seen them live, stuff like My Morning Jacket and TV on the Radio and Death Cab for Cutie, and even like some of the metal bands. To me, they just seem to be having such a hoot on stage, running around. Like, I just really love performing and I love being up there. So why would you try to act like, oh, I want to do this on this, you know? I got sick of the whole twee kind of, oh, I'm cute and shy. It's like, no, you're faking this. You are desperate for attention. So, you know, I like bands that are like that. They're like, hey, go up and do a show.
And be real.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, I guess, your friends, if I can observe from an outside perspective, have been getting, you know, really famous. Like, I don't know if you're close with like, David Cross and Zach Galifianakis and stuff.
Yeah.
How is it, like, you know, hanging out with them and be like, hey, you know, I saw you on Letterman, or I saw you on Conan, or, you know, like, how is that?
Well, we're all doing stuff, and I guess it's because we're all doing, if not the same stuff, the same level of stuff. It's just like when you're starting off going, hey, you're working at the Punchline, you're going to be at Cobb's, we'll hang out. Like, they're my friends. I'm excited to see them do well. I mean, I think that they're really funny. I don't want to see them miserable and not working. And I also don't want to. I don't want to be one of those guys that a lot of guys, and I think I can say this because when I was coming up, I had this mentality, and I grew out of it, which was, if I got to make it. Not only do I have to make it, I've got to then shut the door behind me and make sure no one else gets through. Because then I'll be like, why would you not want to be surrounded by your friends when you're successful? Like, I want people that I like to do well to be around me. I don't want to be the only one that makes it through, and then I'm hanging around people that I don't want to hang out with. It's going to be a horrible life.
Is there kind of like a douchebag within the industry that everyone thinks is like really cool, but you know, why does everyone like that guy?
What? Wait a minute. There's a guy that we all think is an asshole, but everyone else loves him.
But everyone from the outside, you know, is like, you know, he's such a great guy. But when you really interact with him, it's like, why do they like him?
Peter Gabriel. I don't know. I mean, I'm making that up. People that are douchebags, you can pretty much tell that they're douchebags. You just avoid them.
You're obviously, you know, a huge comic book fan, huge Star Wars fan. Has that kind of like put you into this like alternative sphere of like celebrities? Like when people come up to you, like, oh, you know, I'm really a huge, you know, comic book nerd, like whatever.
I don't know, because there were people that I didn't realize were massive comic book nerds until I, you know, started talking to them, and then you realize, oh, like there's more of us than I thought. Mm-hmm. Like I've run into Sam Jackson many times at the Golden Apple on a Wednesday, and Francis Ford Coppola is an abiding comic book fan, and so yeah, there's all these. There is, I guess you would call it a subculture, but you would call it a subculture, except there's so many of us now that I don't really know that it's a subculture anymore.
Sure.
Like almost everyone I know, if not, maybe they don't like them to the level that I do, but they do, like, oh, I read Persepolis and The Watchmen and Blankets and stuff like that. You know, because it just gets around that they're good books.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a big believer in it. When you can, when you get to the point where you can, buy what you like go out of your way not to get freebies, because if you pay for what you like and you give what you like ratings and money, then more of it will get made. So it just reminded me of like back in the early aughts, I guess, when Arrested Development came on the air, and all my friends were saying, yeah, I downloaded some BitTorrents on the internet, and that show is the best show, and it's just, they're going to cancel it. It's like no one watches it. I was like, you're the reason it's being canceled. It's not the people that aren't watching it, it's the people that love it that are stealing it from some other place, and then people go, yeah, no one's watching this thing. Yeah. So it just, like, that drives me crazy. If you like something, fucking pay for it. Put money down so they'll make more of it.
Of course, totally agree with you. The final thing, I guess, any advice for upcoming college students who have, you know, kind of a shithole of a job market coming up? What do we have to look forward to?
Yeah, I know. I can't even imagine what you guys are about to face, and it makes me really, really frustrated, because if one thing I really like about, I mean, I don't want to sound like an old fogey, but the one thing that I like about the next wave that's clearly coming up is they rejected a lot of our bullshit values that we had in the early 90s when we were 20, which was don't let people see you trying, don't be sincere, always be cynical and distant, and we made amateurishness a virtue. Now you guys are coming up when you are ready to go and there's no opportunity. But maybe, and I don't want to sound like Jiminy Cricket, but maybe this means you guys are the ones that will save it, because you won't have a choice. You'll just have to make it out of thin air.
This has been a Love Shack production, and in association with thepurchasebrick.com. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned next week.
Be extraordinary. You have no choice. It is out of your fucking hands. Be amazing or die. How about that? Does that work?
That is perfect.
Okay.
Excellent.